Genzo tells Carmilla to get out of the soil and to work, but she wants to stay there more to fully recover. She thinks she was useful during the last quest, but Genzo tells her she just went and got eaten instantly. Genzo gives up and decides to bury Carmilla with more soil. Ciels enters the pet shop saying she is a hunter looking for Genzo, and points at him saying he is the demon beast killer. Genzo then does a quick chop to the head, taking her down, and then follows with a figure 4 leg lock, making her give up from pain and apologize. Carmilla feels Ciels' pain, as she perfectly knows how painful his techniques are. Genzo asks her what she is doing there, and Ciels introduces her again, saying that the guildmaster has told her Genzo is strong, so she wants to become his student, but Genzo refuses. Ciels keeps insisting, saying she will repay him, even with her body if necessary. But Genzo still refuses, saying she can return when she looks like a kobold. She's a bit annoyed he finds her less attractive than a kobold, and keeps insisting, but as Genzo is about to make another move and touch her stomach, she backs off, apologizing and saying she will return some other time. Genzo then stops her and lifts her shirt, seeing scales and realizing she is a lizard man. Ciels then confirms that her ancestors are lizard men and she has scales on her stomach and back. The girls quickly tell her to not show them, as Genzo's eyes are already looking at her dangerously. Genzo then tells her he will be taking her as a student. Genzo starts training her but is focusing only on the scale parts. The others also join in her training. He eventually decides she is well trained and gives her a mask calling her Ciels XL. She accepts it, but then realizes she isn't looking for that and throws the mask. Then they ask her why she wants to learn from Genzo, and as she explains, Genzo gets angry and heads to the guild wanting to meet the master, or he will start executing the hunters there. As the hunters don't understand what is going on, they act casually but are picked one by Genzo. The rest of the hunters try to stop him, as he is destroying the guild, but they are easily done by him too. The guild master eventually comes out, wondering what is going on. As Genzo says to him that the hunters were harassing Ciels, he explains they were just harassing and messing with her. Nothing naughty, which annoyed Genzo even more. But as he learns they weren't touching her stomach, he calms down. The guild master then learns of what happened and apologizes, and Ciels says that she wanted to get strong, so she teaches them a lesson. But after learning from Genzo, she realizes that was something to not get angry about and has now obtained a real strength. So she doesn't care about it anymore. The guild members then apologize to her. But Genzo isn't accepting that. He wants Ciels as his student to fight them. But she refuses. However, Genzo keeps insisting, or he will execute them all. Wanting to test her strength after training with Genzo, Ciels finally agrees. Ciels starts fighting the guild member, using everything she has learned. She eventually uses a sexy pose that Carmilla taught her, but that angers the guild member, who manages to make her lose one of her weapons. As they continue fighting, he raises his hands to slash her, and she uses that opportunity to get behind him and do a German suplex. As the fight ends, the fighters decide it is a tie and to do that again sometime. But Genzo isn't accepting it, as he is angry that someone can abuse a demi-human and then get away with it with just an apology. As they walk back, Klaus appears in front of them, and at their house, he proposes they hold a fighting tournament where Genzo can fight and they will pay him. As his muscles get excited, he accepts. Klaus has prepared a ring following Genzo's instructions, and Genzo goes to check it. As he approves it, Klaus and Shigure are ready to start the tournament. But Genzo feels something is missing and realizes it is animals. Shigure explains they can't have animals, but Genzo refuses to listen and insists. Klaus then proposes they can use beastmen as wrestlers, and hearing that, Genzo realizes he can touch them as much as he wants while he wrestles them. Miss Kobold then appears and Genzo goes to her and starts giving her compliments. Although he likes the compliment, Miss Kobold says she won't betray her husband. As she mentions her husband, Genzo gets an idea and tells her he will be going to her house. Miss Kobold thinks he's going to fight her husband to steal her and follows him too. As they go into her house, Mr. Kobold returns and sees Genzo staring at him. Genzo compliments Mr. Kobold, saying that he has well-built body. Miss Kobold tells them to not fight over her, and hearing that, Mr. Kobold realizes she is taking more time picking groceries, trimming her nails, and fixing her fur for him. They start fighting and Genzo manages to beat him, and then tells him he can become a good wrestler. As Mr. Kobold remembers his past, he decides to follow that dream again and goes with Genzo. Wolfgang refuses to leave their house as he can encounter Genzo. Misha tries calming him and says that they will stay away from Genzo, so they won't meet him. But at that moment, Genzo shows up. Genzo asks Wolfgang to be a pro wrestler and to fight him. But hearing that, Wolfgang freaks even more and starts trembling in fear while refusing the offer. Seeing Wolfgang in fear, Misha asks Genzo if she can become a pro wrestler too. After looking at her tail and ears, Genzo agrees. As they leave, Genzo and Shigure see the orcs planting some flowers and trees as they want to help the town a bit. Returning home, he sees Carmilla drooling over Hanako's dress and Hanako eating the animal's food, so he decides to get them on the ring too. At the ring, Heat Haze isn't sure what a pro wrestler is, but with his new weapon he is ready to take on the quest, but again is beaten by Genzo, and his weapon is taken by Shigure. Genzo then proceeds and explains what pro wrestling is. After that, he lets them spar, but seeing them fighting, he isn't satisfied and explains the fights need to be entertaining. On the day of the tournament, Genzo is feeling tired as he spent all his time trying to teach them how to wrestle and even wrote scripts for the announcers. Hanako is excited about all the food chains, but seeing Shigure having a stand but selling only merchandise, she is disappointed. As the match begins, Hanako is disqualified as she tries to eat the kobold and is put as a commentator, but is mostly commenting on what parts of the orcs are tasty. Genzo still isn't satisfied as it is missing the rivalries and drama. It is time for the main event, where Carmilla is partnered with Genzo as they will face Misha and Heat Haze. Genzo and Carmilla are about to execute a combo, but Carmilla accidentally hits Genzo and they start arguing. Misha and Heat Haze try to use the moment, but are then countered by both Genzo and Carmilla. As they keep fighting, they are about to defeat them when Misha sees Wolfgang in the crowds. He is forced to replace Heat Haze and enters the ring. Misha gets excited saying they will take their revenge, but as the match continues, she is easily beaten by Carmilla, while Wolfgang again ends up being molested by Genzo, and in the end, Genzo and Carmilla win. After the tournament, they went to a party at the guild. Claus tells them they made lots of money and Shigure is happy, but then the vendors come asking for the money for the food, broken stands, the party, etc., and they end up losing all the money they won, which makes Shigure angry. Carmilla is enjoying her food when Genzo asks her to work, but she refuses as she is taking orders only from Hanako. He then tells her to walk Hiroyuki, but as she refuses again, he does a wrestling move on her. She gives up and accepts. Genzo explains that Hiroyuki is one of a kind in this world and is more expensive than her life, so she should call him Mr. Hiroki. After the walk, she returns and complains that some children made fun of her and wants everyone to console her, but no one cares. Then Altena enters, finally finding where Genzo is, and says that he is the pervert who revealed her buttocks before all the nobility. Hearing that, Hanako and Carmilla immediately take him down with Carmilla wanting to end his life. Shigure then approaches, telling Genzo to turn himself in. Genzo keeps saying he didn't do that as he has no idea who Altena is. He starts thinking and in the end, realizes she is the one who summoned him, and he instantly goes and does another German suplex to her, again revealing her buttocks for everyone to see. While Joanna is traveling with Mao and Rose, she tells Mao that Hero Genzo defeated a herd of griffins and made the orcs his slaves. They are then stopped by UTs, who want Joanna to pay a toll to pass around them. Mao decides to show them his power and goes and attacks UTs, defeating them with wrestling moves. Joanna is impressed by his power, while Rose is wondering what those strange techniques are. Joanna tries to act like she knows, saying they are assassination techniques from another world. Mao then sees Hiroyuki-looking creature and turns pale. Altena introduces herself and that she is the princess and has come for the hero. Carmilla cannot believe he is a hero as he is just an animal-loving pervert. In the end, Altena says that he will come with her as he needs to go on a journey to defeat the Demon King. Genzo wonders why he needs to do that, and Carmilla explains the hero is the strongest human who murders all the demons, and Altena says that the Demon King is the leader of the demon beasts. Genzo then says he won't be defeating the Demon King as if he is the leader of the demon beasts, then he can't fight him, and that he also needs to open his pet shop first. Genzo explains his goal is to make people in town accept animals as their family. Shintena thinks Genzo has done something he shouldn't do. Knowing that she is not being able to summon another hero until the current hero dies, Altena has no other choice but to kill Genzo. She calls her guards to finish Genzo, but all of them are easily taken down by Genzo. He then goes to Altina and performs a rolling cradle on her, and again ends up revealing her buttocks to everyone. Altina insists on asking Genzo to defeat the Demon King, but ends up being humiliated all over again. Altina explains that since Genzo defeated her best knight, she has no other option but to keep asking him to defeat the Demon King. Later, Shigure walks Genzo to the guild to figure out about the Demon King. Heat Haze again with a new weapon wants to join and help him kill the Demon King, but he ends up again knocked out and his weapon taken by Shigure. Genzo tells them that the Demon King is all for him and the people start calling him a hero, which he corrects into calling him a wrestler. Genzo ends up not learning anything about the Demon King and comes home. Carmilla then goes to Genzo, saying she knows what the Demon King looks like. She starts telling him he has wings, 3 heads, and tentacles and shoots lasers from his eyes. Genzo then draws a picture from Carmilla's descriptions and gets excited about how the Demon King looks. Altina then comes, asking him again to defeat the Demon King, but Genzo shows a picture of him, saying he can't defeat that cute-looking Demon King. Altena explains that the Demon King's armies had summoned a Demon King from another world. Hearing that there are 2 Demon Kings now, Genzo starts wondering what the new one looks like. Mao then goes to the orcs' village and starts attacking the orcs, asking if they know the animal mask. Looking at his fight style, the orcs comment that his techniques look like Genzo's. The Orc King then appears wondering what is going on. Mao asks for Genzo as he wants to defeat him, but the Orc King refuses to say anything. Genzo then goes to see the Demon King's armies, but there is no trace of them. Shigure comments she can smell they passed recently. 2 orcs then see Genzo and head to him to inform him of the situation and how the Orc King lost. They head into the orc village to see what happened. The orcs explain the man wanted to know where to find Genzo, but the Orc King didn't reveal anything. Then one of the orcs shows a picture of the man who attacked them and that he is Mayo, Demon King from another world. Thank you so much for staying on this channel and watching our videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can keep you up to date with our latest content. See you in the next video.